Welcome to J Crypto. Today's video is going to be about the top 3 trends in cryptocurrency that we're noticing right now on the J Crypto channel, and we want to discuss them. So the first trend is going to be deflation. It's funny, I just heard about this earlier today, and I already had this video planned because I wanted to test out my live streaming feature. That's what this is right now, but on test mode. So I'm actually going to be posting this in after I make it. And later on, we are going to be making more live streams to basically engage with the community who follows me, because you guys ask a ton of great questions. And I just can't be typing all day long, because I'm not a keyboard warrior. And the other reason why I can't be typing all day is because I got to be doing my research, man, because that's what fires me up. That's what keeps me coming to you guys. So I'm going to start to do live streams with y'all to answer your questions in real time. This video, however, has some really important stuff. So the first one is about deflation. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm still researching the reasons why we're heading towards deflation. I haven't had really sure enough conviction to say that we are heading towards deflation. It's kind of against a lot of people's opinions that I really look up to say that we're heading towards deflation. The narrative that BitBoy this morning painted was pretty simple. It was that we've been in inflation, and now the government's going towards a boiling point where we need to now do something to go towards deflation. And when we go towards deflation, what will happen with Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin does really well with inflation, so will it do poorly with deflation? And if Bitcoin does poorly, what will happen? Will, for example, Bitcoin crash, and will that bring all the other cryptocurrencies crashing down? And BitBoy's points, if you don't know, BitBoy is just one of the biggest YouTubers about cryptocurrency. He made a point basically saying this, okay? He basically said that when it comes to deflation and the current bull market, so the trajectory of the cryptocurrency asset class going upwards, it's actually looking pretty bullish, because he thinks that we won't go towards deflation until after the bull market. Again, I'm just telling you what he said. I'm not really sure if we're going to be continuing to go towards inflation or continuing to go towards deflation, but I have heard Raoul Paul, and he said some stuff way over my head, man, about quantitative easing and just about the general bond market pushing the dollar in actually an upward trend in terms of value. So instead of the dollar weakening, it's going to be strengthening over the next 2 years. So those are my two sources, but I have heard the deflation narrative a while. Another thought that I had about how deflation could happen is by creating a digital USDC, and not only through real-time taxation. So basically with the digital, with a CBDC, you guys got to understand, if you're new to crypto, they can program in any kind of tokenomics they want. So if the transaction looks like a capital gains, boom, they're going to tax you on that in real time. And then even entrepreneurs and capitalists who usually report all their taxes, people that work for themselves, who usually, file all their taxes at the end of the year, in theory, the government could tax them all in real time, and they would give them a tax return if they tax too much. So what they could also do with this, taxation, is to program in, burns, right? How we call them, burns, or redistributions of wealth. And with these redistributions of wealth, in essence, they could technically take out supply from the USDC and make it a deflationary currency. This would be great for the saver, if you will. Not so great for the asset investor, because when in deflationary economies, it tends to make asset prices kind of weaken, if you will, because when the dollar gets stronger, then people just say, oh, okay, I can just store my value in the dollar. Why do I need to buy gold? Why do I need to buy real estate? Things of that nature. So it's an interesting narrative. Currently, I don't really see deflation taking form right this moment, but Raoul Paul said some interesting stuff that made me think. So that's trend number one. So just keep it on your radar, because if we head towards deflation and a guy like me can kind of see it, and not right now because I can't say, hey guys, this is why deflation's happening. I think when a guy like me can explain, okay, this is why deflation's happening, then that's when deflation's actually happening. But one thing that's interesting is that if we head towards deflation, what might be a better play than storing a lot of money into crypto, because crypto can be volatile, especially if you have to buy at high prices. Like right now, I would say that the prices are kind of high, is to do one of two things. So number one, instead of buying bulk purchases of crypto, it might be a good time when you hear deflation is happening to start dollar cost averaging. And that's what I do personally all the time. But if you dollar cost average, you're going to spread out your risk. You're going to be purchasing bits and bits and bits. And then over the next 3 years, if we do go towards a bear market, you're going to be able to take advantage of some really low prices. The second thing that BitBoy mentioned, and I also will be doing if we head towards deflation or even towards a bear market, is to convert a lot of crypto gains. When you get gains, maybe when you start getting gains 10% a week, 10% a day, depending on how much you want to take out of your gains, into stable coins. Okay. And then you can put it into a platform like Celsius and start earning 6, 8, 10, 12%, or a decentralized exchange. I just don't know what DeFi is going to do in a bear market. So I'm kind of waiting to do a majority of my portfolio on that, because it's all fee driven, how you're earning those, the passive income. If you put your stable coins onto like a decentralized exchange, it's all fee driven. So how much volume is really happening in a bear market opposed to right now? I don't know. I don't know how that's going to affect the DEXs. So that's kind of the strategy number two. Okay, next trend besides deflation actually is going to be Cardano smart contracts. And I'm just going to say smart contracts. Right now I'm covering Cardano NFTs. I just covered 16 different NFT projects on Cardano. My thesis is this, that in the coming weeks, we're going to see early Cardano NFT projects be treated like early Ethereum projects. The reason why is because Cardano is one of those blockchains where you can actually code with JavaScript. You can code with all these different languages that you just can't use on Ethereum. You can only use Solidity. So we're going to have a lot more developers coming to Cardano. When that happens, I think Cardano will have a significant lead on Ethereum. Here's the real difference maker, though. Cardano NFTs, not only can they build in more use case and functionality because the technology is superior to things like the Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum, but also it's a repeat, and we're using pattern recognition right now. We're saying, okay, the early NFTs on Solana have done pretty well. The early NFTs on Cardano are going to do really well. The early NFTs on, let's say, Ethereum, right, have exploded and they're selling for millions of dollars. Well, what my recommendation is to maybe out of the 30, and I talked about this in my last video. So if you want to go check out the deep dive video I did on Cardano NFTs, I covered 10 different projects, maybe even more than 10. I say 10 plus for plus more than projects on Cardano. And I explain some of them have utility, some of them don't. But if you build a basket of these NFT projects and you just buy at the floor of, I don't know, I would say if there's 30 projects, 20 of them are going to do well in value if they're the first 30 projects on Cardano that use NFTs. That's the key. Okay, that's the key. If they're the first 30, if you invest in 30, I think 20 of them will do well. So for every 3, 1 might not do well. So maybe if you want to build a basket where you try to buy the floor prices of the cheapest ones, or the ones that maybe are the floor prices of the ones that are most expensive. If you pick 6, I would expect 4 to do really well. That's just my own prediction. Based on Ethereum, early NFTs doing really well. And my prediction has already come true. We've seen that basically for the 16 projects I've covered, pretty much every single floor price of those NFTs has actually increased in value. But I don't think it's nearly close to where it's going to stop increasing, if you will. So that's just for NFTs, because NFTs, believe it or not, were actually able to be formed before decentralized financial applications on Cardano. That's just how the technology works. So I think NFTs are a bit farther along than some of the DeFi applications that are being built right now. And they're actually live, and you can already trade these NFTs on CNFT. So another thing that's interesting is once we get Sunday Swap, once we get Min Swap, once we get these decentralized exchanges, that's when I'll come in and talk about play to earn games that are up and coming. I give one project called Crypto Mage. It looks the closest to a PDE game I've seen out of all the Cardano dApps so far. You can also buy the Crypto Mages with a floor price of around 15 ADA, $30, and you can use them. I think they're going to have a lot of DeFi significance where you can actually PDE with those battlers. So we'll see that. That brings us to the third trend, which is going to be play to earn gaming. So right now with PDE gaming, I've noticed that a lot of projects are being kind of, when you get pasta out of a boiling pot, you put it into a sieve and you see that water start to drain. Same thing with people that used to collect gold. You see, oh, okay, now when they do the sieve, gold and rocks are the only ones left, right? Well, I think a lot of the sand we're gonna see in the next couple months start to fall through. A lot of projects are gonna be failing that you may have invested in, you may have gotten early into, that I may have invested and gotten early into, and they're just not gonna be, if they've been around for a few months, we're gonna start to see, the taper off, and we're gonna be left with the good ones. What are the ones making the news? What are the ones with the most legs still? Things of that nature. Now, contrary to popular opinion, I have 3 that I'm really going to be looking at, and I think they are going to be incredibly strong contenders in the future. So the first play to earn game that I'm looking at, because I was an early investor in it and I was lucky enough to read the white paper, get a few packs of it, it was Dragonary. Believe it or not, one of my subscribers actually told me about it. That's how I found out about it. And they asked me to do a video. So that's how I got into it, believe it or not. And because of that, I've been playing to earn. It's super hard to start if you didn't get some of those packs. I'll just be transparent. So if that's not for you, that's okay. I'm going to get to 2 more that you can kind of start with right now. One of them that's going to be even easier to start with than when I got into it. So we'll take a look at that. So the reason why I like Dragonary is because their tokenomics are incredibly deflationary. We talked about deflation. Another thing is the team hasn't really put any tokenomics that give them money from marketplaces and from the trading of NFTs or the buying of products on the marketplace. Instead, they've only given themselves the Dragonary token. So I believe that since they've done this, what's going to end up happening actually is they're going to be very invested in making this project work. Another thing that's interesting about this project is that they haven't really released their marketplace yet. And I think that that's an interesting thing. I think when you don't release your marketplace and you release the game first and you start to release things in waves, it builds up a lot of excitement. So I think when they release their marketplace, I'm interested to see what some of the dragons that are rare or epic are selling for. And that's going to generate a lot of revenue too, which they can then put back into the play to earn game metrics as well. So another one is My DeFi Pet. My DeFi Pet is in a similar place. A lot of people have actually been a little bit salty. So you buy these eggs for 3 DPET tokens. Each DPET token is around $5 right now. And you can hatch an egg for 3 DPET tokens. So each DPET is roughly about $15, right? Each pet that you buy is roughly around $15 because it costs 3 DPET. Each DPET's $5. And the debate that's happening right now is what's going to happen when you can stake these DPET NFTs, right? Because there's certain things that are up in the air still that are not decided yet, that the community has kind of been arguing about. A few of these things, if you're from My DeFi Pet, you're probably going to gain some value from this, is obviously the 10 pet staking rule. Okay. Why can I only stake 10 pets? Okay. Another thing that's important to that is how long can I stake my pets for? Can I stake my pets for 30 days and that's it? Or can I stake them for a year? The reason why the community is kind of talking about this is because if you can only stake your pets for 30 days, that's the locking period. So you can't unlock your pet for 30 days. But if you can only stake your pet for 30 days, then that could be a problem, because what happens if you're only earning 3D pet from staking your pet for 30 days? You're basically losing the right to stake for the rest of your pet's life because you can only stake one time per pet. Okay. And if this is getting kind of lost on you because you're not in My DeFi Pet, it's okay. Don't worry about it. If you want to start using My DeFi Pet, my suggestion would be to go to My DeFi Pet directly, the website, check out basically the basic things, and then get yourself a pet and then play the game, see what it looks like, and then start investing some time into the Telegram, into the Discord, or into their Facebook pages where they post a lot of announcements. The reason why I'm bullish on My DeFi Pet is, number one, they won in the top 3 most valuable builders of phase 2 for entire Binance Smart Chain. 500 Binance Smart Chain project participated, and My DeFi Pet was the winner. I think they have one of the most experienced teams out of all the play to earn games I've seen. Their team is completely doxed as well, or at least their game development team is. So that's a really huge accountability piece. They have a lot of mobile game experience. Okay, that's another reason. They haven't released their marketplace yet, so we don't even know what that's going to look like. They haven't released their play to earn game features yet, so I'm going to let them build, and take your time to build, because we don't want you guys to do something where you're all of a sudden releasing all of your farming rewards and now you don't have any reward pool left, right? That'd be a terrible thing to happen. So those are 3 things that I kind of like about My DeFi Pet. The third play to earn game that is going to be the most easy to get into, and I'm going to be doing some videos on, so don't you guys worry, or girls, is going to be PVU, Plants vs. Undead. It's finally time to get in. I think when I decide, and I don't know the price right now, so if it's above this, then hold on a sec. Don't FOMO in, because I bought in at like $12, and I think it might be around there right now. And I just recently did that like a week ago. Not even a week ago, like a few days ago. So if it's at $12 or lower, I think it's a great price to get in. They just released an announcement too that was very interesting. They said that they're going to make it a lot easier for people to get into the game. I was watching Go Shiny Hunter. Shout out to Go Shiny Hunter. I don't know where he's from. I think he's got like an English accent or something. And he cracks me up, man. The guy cracks me up. But he covers this project, and he said something very interesting. He was discussing a new event that they're having, a World Tree event, where you can have 10x, 100x profitability. I'm still kind of figuring out like how true that is, like, or not true, but just like trying to understand that in my mind. His video had a spreadsheet, didn't really make complete sense to me. I watched a bunch of videos. A lot of the videos on this project aren't in English, unfortunately. So that's why your boy Jay Crypto is going to try to, understand this freaking thing and bring it to you guys and girls in an easy to understand English speaking way. And we'll see what happens there. But the main point I got from this recent update is that it's going to be cheaper and more affordable for people to get in at the base layer. Right now, you can buy a seed for like $1,000. Last time I checked, I think they're doing maintenance on the website, so you can't even go on. $1,000 for a freaking seed, man. So like, in order to get that seed, it costs $1,000. That's a lot of money. The problem with that is there's other ways to start, but it's still going to cost you like $140 plus or minus just to get in. So I think they're making like a cheaper way for like $10 to start earning you for playing, if you will. So that's kind of it. I will be doing more live streams. This is my first one. I know it's not live, but I needed to test out the tech first before I posted like a real one. Again, this is so I can communicate with you guys and answer your questions, and girls, of course. And yeah, so we're going to keep you guys updated, and girls, on some of these trends. I'm interested to see what some of those projects that I mentioned for play to earn games, my nose is so itchy right now. For some of those play to earn games, what happens with those projects, right? Because like all three of those projects, what we're seeing now, in what I like about this portion is as a VC kind of like esque era where we're experiencing this new tech. We're on the cutting edge. We're seeing projects fail and succeed left and right. And then how long will the projects that succeed actually succeed? Will it be a month? Will it be a year? And then what will the projects do that are successful that makes them end up failing? Will they change their tokenomics? Will they do something? Will they switch it up? So right now I'm gathering data. I'm figuring out, okay, what economies are working in play to earn gaming? What economies are not working? What games are working in play to earn gaming? What games are not working? Okay, things like that. And you guys should be too if you're really serious about play to earn gaming as an investor down the road, because this all is going to feed into how we process these games and pick these games and find potential winners down the road. So that being said, that's Jay Crypto. If you do have any questions, feel free to hold them until I do a real live stream, because I'm excited to get your questions. Obviously, you can hit me with a question or a comment. And if you have any value to add for the community, just comment below what you think about deflation, comment below what you think about play to earn gaming. I don't care if you disagree with me. Feel free to comment if you disagree with me. I don't really give two, SHITs, because the reality is that we're all just learning. And I even said that I'm still gathering data. So that'll be data. So say whatever the heck you want. I don't give a crap. And as always, that's Jay Crypto. The goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by October. This is Jay Crypto. I'm out. Peace.